family owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Just zoom in a little bit, and you'll be good. Huh? You said crooked?
From the Bulldog Lounge at 54th and College here in Indianapolis, I'm Mike Walensky, and welcome to the 2022 Indiana High School Sports.com Girls Basketball Preseason Coaching Show. It's built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit them at www.universalrfg.com and call them at 317-257-0779. And by Genesis Sports Performance at www.genesissportsperformance.com. And High Gear Marketing, www.highgearmarketing.com. And by Ray Skillman, Northside Kia on Shadeland Avenue. And our first basketball coach today is Lauren Vota, the head basketball coach at Fishers. And the Tigers last year were 20-5. You were ranked 7th as the season ended, and you had a chance to move on and win some hardware, but you fell just a little bit short to the Class 4A state championship, Noblesville Millers 54-48. Talk a little bit about your club.
Well, we return everybody from a team that went 20-5, so obviously really looking forward to this year. But more importantly right now, this group of girls is just really fun to coach. They're in a great state of mind, and I just love going to practice with them every day.
Your background. You're a Greenfield Central graduate. You had a chance to play basketball at Anderson University, where you were a Raven. You went from being a Cougar to a Raven. Now you're a Tiger. Talk a little bit about the Tigers from the standpoint that Haley Smith and Olivia Smith both returned from last year's ball club. Haley delivered 10.4 points a game last year, Olivia 9.4, and that gives you a solid base to work with.
Well, for sure. Haley and Olivia have been four-year varsity players. They were on our sectional championship team as freshmen. They're trying to earn their third conference title in 4 years, and they are leading us well. Obviously, they're very skilled basketball players. The way they can play and finish around the rim is very, very unique, and they're really great kids to be around too. But obviously, we have a lot returning with them as well.
Can you talk a little bit about some of the returning players that will fill those gaps, that will allow you to compete offensively and defensively, and then, of course, have a chance to make that run and win the state championship?
Right. So I feel like we're a really deep team. We have 11 on our varsity roster, and so obviously Haley and Olivia Smith are the seniors, and we have two other seniors, Alicia Triplett, who is kind of our forward center, and Karina Scott, who's another guard. Both of them are doing also a phenomenal job of leading and will fill roles nicely. And then in our junior class, we do return Caitlin Thomas, who is a forward, Talia Harris, a point guard, Jordan Smith, another guard, and then Morgan Roberts, who's a shooting guard with nice length. And then we're adding two sophomores Allison Shoy and Nevaeh Dickman, and then Ava Carter is a sophomore who actually played varsity for us last year as well. So we do return, I believe we actually return 10 letter winners from last year, and so we're just adding one newcomer.
Lauren Vota is our basketball coach from Fishers here in her 6th year, 88-34. And I think what's really unique about Fishers being in Hamilton County is the fact that Fishers has amassed a 19-16 IHSA record. The reason being is because it's really a relatively new school.
Yes, and that was really something that I understand I'm very privileged to have the opportunity to do. I've been at Fishers this is my 14th year. And so I've been there for most of Fishers High School's existence, and that's very neat, obviously, to be a part of the tradition that we're building at Fishers, and to have a chance to do that with the girls' basketball program is awesome.
Can you talk a little bit about the conference? Because I think this conference probably is as good as there is across the state of Indiana.
100% it is. Top to bottom, it is tough every single night. The coaches in this conference are just phenomenal, and every single one of them gets the absolute best out of their players. And so you know that as a coach, you have to be on your game every night you go in. And then the talent is ridiculous. I believe it is the toughest conference in the state, top to bottom. And that's what makes it fun. That's what makes competing in this conference fun, is that if you want to win it, you have to go out every single night and play.
Lauren Vota is head girls basketball coach at Fishers High School, coming off a 20-5 season. In 2022 and 23, what are your team's expectations? What are you telling your kids as they begin to prepare for this season?
You know, the biggest thing that we've been working on since the end of last year is consistency. And consistency in the way that we work, consistency in the culture of our practices, the consistency in the culture of our program. And I am just so proud of where they are right now. We have sat down as a group and discussed our expectations as far as, you know, the way that we carry ourselves, the pillars of our program. And so far, I am excited to see where we can go.
Chance to earn some hardware for the Fishers Tigers. That was our first guest, Lauren Vota, on the IndianaHighSchoolSports.com preseason girls basketball show. Will return. Thanks for watching.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779. Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Our next guest on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com is the fourth-year Cathedral Fighting Irish girls basketball coach, Lisa Finn. Lisa, thanks for joining us. Let's talk a little bit about developments for girls high school sports and in general high schools. At Cathedral High School, Julie Barthel leads the charge as principal. Nicole Beasley is the vice president. Two great coaches, Gene Kesterton, former volleyball coach, and of course Linda Bambrick, who was a great girls basketball coach. Now you carry the charge for the Irish. Talk a little bit about those changes and the confidence you have, I think, as a woman now running a girls high school basketball program.
Yeah, I think, it's a lot of pressure, I think, following women like that that have had so much success in their sports at Cathedral. So it is a little bit of pressure. But you have to decide with them. That's why you bring Linda Bambrick back to the program on your staff and use her as a mentor. And we're just really excited we need our girls to keep getting to that next level, and that's what we're really excited about.
Our guest here is Lisa Finn, the head girls basketball coach at Cathedral High School. Last year, your ball club was 15-10 playing Class 4A, and I kept looking at film in preparation for this broadcast, and I kept seeing Layla Gold. Layla Gold seems to be a really outstanding basketball player for your program. A lot of preparation during the summer. Can you talk a little bit about her and all the pieces that you have coming back for the Irish?
Yeah, I mean, she is going to kind of be the nucleus of our team. Obviously, she's our returning leading scorer, leading rebounder, and just a good kid to build our program around. And she works hard. She improved over the summer, and I still think she could improve more. So I think we're just looking at using her in a lot of different ways this year, and we've got a great group of kids to put around her as support staff too.
Lisa, of all the things that I think of that are special ingredients to be a successful coach to win a state championship, one of those is the opportunity to be associated with winners and champions. And knowing your background, you were a state champion at Huntington North. You were a Viking, and you were also Miss Basketball, and that's a really special honor. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, I think it's really helpful knowing that I walk the walk and being credible with my kids. And, they think I'm old. They think it was a long time ago. They don't even, I think they don't even see me as that until we pull out pictures and, maybe videos sometimes when I try to, throw that in their face a little bit sometimes. But it does help. It does help because I think we, people that have experienced what I've experienced know what it takes. And that hasn't changed much, even though years have passed and high school sports have changed. And, we won the state when it was a single class. Now it's multi-class. So it's still hard work. It's still effort. It's still a lot of the same ingredients to win and be a champion now. So that hasn't changed. So it's very helpful to have that in my back pocket.
Lisa, there seems to be a Huntington connection from Butler to UIndy to IU and now to Cathedral. When I talk about Butler, I talk about Kit Stetzel, the Assistant Sports Information Director at Butler University. When I talk about UIndy, we talk about Scott Eaker, who's the play-by-play voice for Cathedral High School football. When we talk about IU, we talk about Bob Hamill, who's just a tremendous sports writer who just celebrated, I believe, maybe his 85th or 86th birthday a couple days ago. His late brother, Jim, was also a tremendous basketball coach.
Yeah, in Huntington, it's so crazy. It's like the 6 degrees of separation, and you don't realize that growing up there because it does seem like a small town and removed from a lot of, the bigger city areas. But it's been kind of nice to be back into basketball now, too, because I just have been able to kind of reconnect with some of those people along the way, which is cool.
And I think what's interesting is that winning is contagious. And Jason Delaney wins a state championship as a head basketball coach, boys basketball coach at Cathedral. Now I'm sure that will help your girls kind of look forward and maybe take the charge to take it to the next level.
Yeah, and at Cathedral, the mission of the school is striving for excellence academically, spiritually, emotionally, and athletically. And so you look at all those banners in the gym and you look at all the trophies, and it's a little daunting sometimes. Like, we've got to work hard to get there. And it's looking ahead and trying to do what we can to achieve our own excellence.
Another player that I saw on your roster is Taylor Lewis at 6'1", coming back into this year's season, averaging 4.7 last year and rebounding 3.9. You've got some pieces, again, that you can play with, and as an independent school, unlike some other conference schools, you can kind of forge your own schedule during the course of the season.
Yeah, our schedule. I told the girls, I'm like, we're going to go against 3 to 4 Layla Golds every single game we play. So we've really got to step it up. We built that schedule because we've got Sectional 10 daunting. We've got the LCs, the LNs, the North Centrals, the Addicts. We've got all those teams in our sectional. So if we don't prepare during the regular season, we don't give ourselves a chance. So we've got a tough regular season, but it'll be a good challenge. And Taylor, she has multiple D1 offers for volleyball. She's a great multi-sport athlete, and she will literally do anything you ask. So she is a great piece to our puzzle, and looking forward to her to have a breakout year.
Our guest here is Lisa Finn, the head girls basketball coach at Cathedral High School. Lisa, you were an assistant for Stan Benge at Ben Davis, and Stan is here. Let's talk a little bit about the influence that he's had on your coaching.
Well, I worked with him for 1 year, right out of college, and all these years later, having him as a mentor, and a lot of times I'll text him, probably bug him a little bit, but I'll text him. We play each other. We played when he was at Roncalli, and I'm not ashamed to say that I beat him once. So he's just a great person to bounce things off of. And I just value so much people who have forged the way for me to do what I do now, and I want to use that to my benefit, and I love being able to have that relationship with him.
And talking about relationships, I'll say this, 59ers, let's go. That is something that folks from Andrean will say, and I understand you're married to an Andrean 59er.
I am. My husband graduated from Andrean. His 3 younger siblings graduated from Andrean. We're still huge Andrean fans and supporters, and if you're from the region, and it's good to see them do well in things too.
What are your expectations for your ball club heading into this 2022-2023 season? Because ultimately, that's where you're going to go.
Yeah, we are going to look at continuing to shift that culture. This is the 4th year all for my staff and myself. So we're going to look at really hands down, it's all about effort. It's about culture. It's about fostering the things that are intangible a lot of times in the game that solve a lot of the skill issues. And we're just going to go out and just play hard. That's the thing. I'm going to expect nothing less than that, and we'll see what happens.
Well, Lisa, thanks for joining us here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com, and best of luck to the Cathedral Fighting Irish. No problem. As the Irish prepare for that 2022-23 season. Our broadcast tonight is built by Universal Roofing Exteriors. Visit them at www.universalrfg.com. Call them at 317-257-0779. And by Genesis Sports Performance, www.genesissportsperformance.com. And by High Gear Marketing at www.highgearmarketing.com. And by Ray Skillman, Northside Kia on Shaylin Avenue. We'll be back after these messages on IndianaHighSchoolSports.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at GenesisSportsPerformance.com. Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Welcome back to IndianaHighSchoolSports.com, our 2022-23 preseason girls high school basketball coaches show. I'm Mike Walensky, and now our next guest is from Mooresville. Our Mooresville coach, Mark Hurt, and the Pioneers last year fell a little bit short to Franklin, 49-46 in the semi-state, but Franklin had an outstanding ball club, and you were this close to running and making a chance to play for a state championship. Let's talk a little bit about last year, Mark.
Yeah, I was really proud of last year's team. We finished 19-9 and just made an incredible run during the tournament. Franklin had actually beat us in early January. They're in our conference by 25 points. So I was really proud of the girls to get through Brownsburg at the sectional, and then North Central and Ben Davis in the regional, and then we had a shot down there at the semi-state. Just fell 3 points short.
Mark Hurt is our guest, the head girls basketball coach at Mooresville. What I really enjoy seeing is the fact that you are the third winningest high school girls basketball coach in Indiana. Talk a little bit about your success at Mooresville.
Well, Mooresville's a really strong basketball community, and I was really fortunate to come into that job and have some girls who knew how to play and knew what they were doing. So, really it's been the players, and, I'm starting my 25th year there. So I've been doing it a long time, but I've had some really good players. I've had 3 Indiana All-Stars, so and hopefully we'll have another good group this year.
Looking at last year, the returning leading scorer is Rachel Harshman, the 6-foot junior, averaged 13.3 points a game, and she's joined by Kaylin Bunch. Talk a little bit about the returning players for your ball club and any newcomers that you might think might be a real factor for your ball club.
Yeah, we're kind of built around Rachel. She's played ever since she was a freshman in our program. She was our leading scorer last year, and then Rachel's a junior, and then Kaylin Bunch is another junior. So we're looking to build around them. We lost 3 really experienced senior guards last year, so that's really a question mark for us this year. We've got to develop some guards, and we got a couple juniors, Emma McGinley and Sydney Hardy, and then sophomore Ava Schaefer that we're looking to play the guard positions for us.
Mooresville, the IHSA tournament, has established a 103-47 record. That is absolutely outstanding. And I think when people play, they know they're in for business when they play a Mark Hurt coach to Mooresville Ball Club.
Well, Mooresville's really an interesting place. Whenever girls basketball started, I think maybe around 1975, 76-ish, the first coach there was Joe Johnson, who graduated from Ben Davis, played basketball there. He actually took them to the state finals, I want to say in 1978. And so, they were in the Final Four. And, when you start something new and you have that kind of success, I think that's really helped basketball in our community and why we've been able to have such a good history year in and year out.
And Mark, I'm going to go way back relative to a student that really informed me quite a bit about Mooresville, and she was a former Indiana University Student Athletic Board Director, Dina Hofer.
Okay, yeah.
Dina talked a lot about Mooresville, had a lot of pride about Mooresville.
Yeah, Mooresville's a really great community. Really love the athletics there, a lot of community support, and that's what makes it such a special place.
What can make it special is setting expectations. What is Mark Hurt's expectations for your ball club this year?
Well, each year we just want to be the most competitive basketball team that we can be. So, we just try to do the best we can. If you're competitive, anything can happen. So, each year, we want to preach taking care of the basketball, taking good shots, playing good defense. Really looking forward to this year because we only have one senior this year, and so we have some inexperienced guards. So it's going to kind of be a work in progress for us here this year.
What's interesting is the fact that Mooresville High School has won 21 girls basketball sectionals, 10 regionals, 1 semi-state. Where do you find the space for the hardware?
Well, you can never have enough hardware, but and again, we're proud, and we have some really good history, and we know what's been established there with previous teams, And we know we're going to get the opponent's best shot, and that makes it that much harder. And we have big expectations every year.
Last question for you, Mark. Talk a little bit about who has been the most influential person in your coaching over the course of the years here at Mooresville.
Well, I consider myself really fortunate. I grew up in Bloomington, Indiana, and played for Bill Springer, who was a Hall of Fame basketball coach, and then I coached under Tom McKinney at Bloomington North, another Hall of Fame basketball coach. So, I feel from Coach Springer, I got a really good perspective on the defensive side of the ball. And